What's up, guys? So before I start, um, just so you know, if it sounds really loud in the background, there's currently a at my house. There's currently a thunderstorm going on. Just so you know. But yeah, I'm here for NXT, my usual alone review. It is let's see, it's Tuesday, July 28th. I'm recording it the same night of NXT, and at 10 o'clock, 11:17 right now. So about an hour later, I'm recording it. Um, so that's really it. I have no special intro or anything. It's time to get right into it. All right. So, yeah, Grayson Waller. Um, whew. Let me just start off by saying Grayson Waller, because he hasn't been used for so long or had a promo in so long on Raw SmackDown. This man, I forgot how good he was on the microphone. He used to be great on NXT. This man, whew, this may have been the best promo in months or maybe even of the year. I'm not even joking. This was by far Grayson Waller's best promo of his career. Um, I'm blazing it. It was awesome. Let me just explain how this actually even started. I didn't explain how it started. Grayson Waller starts the show. He comes out with a microphone. That's out of the blue. He runs out. No entrance. He just runs in. They tried to play the angle off of oh, he's not supposed to be here type of thing. He gets a mic. He says, "It's time he riled some cages." Hey, sorry. Huh. Then he says he made his main roster debut in the main event at Madison Square Garden. That's true against Edge. 2022. 6 years after, no, 6 weeks after breaking his leg on the announce desk. WrestleMania 40, he sat atop a ladder and brought home the SmackDown Tag Team Championship of Grayson Waller. I mean, Austin Theory, sorry. He was on top of the world, and then something changed. He didn't know what he was. It wasn't his worth ethic or talent. Maybe he said the wrong thing or didn't kiss the right ass. And the last 2 years of his career have been wasted. He spent the last 2 years carrying 240 pounds of an idiot on his back, Austin Theory, and got people to cheer for him, but that Mario Jannetty is still lurching on the microphone. It's worse. The last year of his career, he pretended to be at a funeral the New Day, of the tag titles. He did the deal, he wore the silly hat and told people just how good someone else is. And the ironic thing is, he was dressed for a funeral, but the only thing dying was his career. That's true. But hey, it's a new day. Ha ha ha. And he can sit at home, cash a check, eat catering once a week, but that ain't him. He's in the best shape of his life, and he shows up. He shows the abs to prove it. He needs to show he means it. And he's got demons. He's got to conquer them to get where he should be. And one that's been keeping him awake for a very long time is the NXT Championship. I would love for him to win that. He never won it here. I wish he did. It used to mean something to represent the best wrestlers in the world. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Seth Rollins, Johnny Gargano, Shinsuke Nakamura. Even recently, Braun Breaker, Trick Williams, Carmella Hayes, Obafemi. They got the red carpet rolled out, but he never had it, so he gets treated like a Netflix ad break comedy act. So he's here to take the NXT Championship. Who's going to stop him? Cruz Montana? For those who don't know, Mike Santana got a name change. He's Cruz Montana now. Mike Santana from TNA became the NXT. He's Cruz Montana now. Grayson says, loving the name, by the way. And he came in here ready to go, but Grayson knows these people. In 6 weeks, he'll have a shiny new toy. Um, Montana thinks he's gonna come in and get a title shot because he was a man in TNA. It ain't 2005 anymore. He's not impressed. And hey, Tony D'Angelo, you want to come do something, Mr. NXT Champion? Tony showed the world what he can do because there's nobody left, and he'll send him home to be his ugly baby. A crew member tries to tell Grayson to stop, and Grayson says, "Tell Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels to stop him himself, or go ahead and send one of his guys down here to stop him." And to the guys in the back, maybe put TikTok down, put your phone down, and watch the show because he walked into your house about wiping his feet. The NXT men's roster is soft, lazy, complicit, and happy to be here. And the women of NXT are running laps around you guys. That's true. They've been investing in the show. 90% of you think you're ready to be called up, but he's seen who's back there, and maybe 10% of them are ready, and those are all women. He sees them at tryouts fired up and hungry, but then they're too happy to put WWE Superstar on their Instagram bio and press local women end up in the trainer's room for months at a time. Then the independent people, his people, who can do incredible things in the ring. But our charisma vacuums on the mic. He knows you're looking at Shawn having a panic attack, but inside he's smiling because he knows Grayson Waller is telling the truth. This men's division has been ripe for the taking for months. And Grayson Waller chants start. He says, shut up, I don't need you guys' support. He says he's gonna walk in, take the title, the division, take every opportunity he can, because unfortunately for that embarrassment of a roster, he's starting to remember who Grayson Waller really is. He's the most underrated man on the roster, the pound for pound best, and his mic goes dead. So he goes to the floor and continues cutting his promo down the barrel of the camera. And he says he tells NXT to consider their cages rattled. That was the promo. Wow. That was impressive. So damn good. Grayson Waller, I want him to win the NXT title now. I'm telling D'Angelo. Which I don't think will happen. I think Cruz Montana is winning it, but whew, good stuff. That was awesome. 10 out of 10 promo, honestly. Anyway, back in commercial. North American champion Myles, Borne, and Tavion Heights are in the locker room chatting about Grayson's promo. Tavion gives Myles a little prep talk about defending the belt tonight, and then they're going to be value powder for the tag titles next week. Mason Rook comes in and says he's tired of people saying that NXT boys ain't it, and he's got to beat some ass tonight. The next match, I say this every week for NXT. Every week for NXT. Every single week I've said this. They still don't have Lizzie in the community creations. I don't know why. So I can't expect this match for you guys, unfortunately. I'm sorry. But our first match tonight, Lizzie Rain versus Izzi Dame. A little bit of a rhyme there. We get a picture-in-picture break of Cruz Montana walking into the building past Grayson Waller. And then we go to the match. In the match, toward the end, Niko Vance is at ringside for Izzy, obviously. Niko Vance turns around as a man in a hoodie. It's Shawn Spears. He has to share his hand. Sorry. He hits Niko Vance a bit, which causes a distraction for Izzy, so Lizzie Rain wins her finisher Thunderstroke. Love Lizzie. She's awesome. Now it's the match. Then we go to the back. Noam, Romeo, and Romero in the back. Here welcoming Cruz Montana and NXT. And Saquon Shugars comes in. Noam and Romeo apologize for the Sugar for not getting the 6-man tag win last week, and Saquon's like, it's fine. The LX still has splinters. And Cruz Montana tells Saquon Shugars the last time he saw him, he was whooping his ass with Dark State, and Saquon says he's a changed man now. Then Kelani Jordan comes in and warns Cruz about the unfair working environment before signing his contract, and he says things are a lot different from when she was Knockouts champion in TNA. She agrees and falls into a rant about how she's getting denied opportunities and gets frustrated when he walks away mid-sentence. Pretty funny. Then backstage, Valiant Project and NXT GM Robert Stone's office. Robert Stone's with them. They said they're upset Myles is getting a tag title match by beating Cam Hendrix and talk about them being the best team around. Jack and Drake says Myles wrestling Cam because he knows he can beat Cam and brother can't touch him, but it's fine. This swipe right again retain, and one day soon he's gonna be North American champion. Keanu Carter walks in and let's see. Keanu calmly asks Stone for a match, and Stone is skeptical. That's all it is, but he gives him the match. Robert's phone rings, and it's Grayson. Grayson says, no, Stone says, come back to Reina Grayson. We're not done yet. Then we get a little advice promo video package about how Kendall Gray doesn't know what it's like to be her. Then in the backstage in the locker room, Thea hails in the locker room, congratulating Jada Parker for beating Nanny last week. Jada says she knows she hasn't been the easiest to deal with, and she appreciates what Thea did last week. Thea says she knows what it's like to feel isolated in the locker room, and they share some nice words with each other. And she talked to Robert Stone. Next week, tag team match. Jada and Thea are fighting Carmen Petrovic and Nikita Lyons. Jada is happy. Thea's been trustworthy and has her back, and they hug. Good stuff. Nice stuff. Now, this next match, I believe I can spectate. Here we go, second match.
Myles Borne is set to get this match underway.
Myles Borne defends the North American Championship against Hendrix. And the situation kind of is that Myles Borne wins, He and Tavion get NXT Tag Team Championship match next week against Valley Project. So, fun match here. And toward the end, Mr. Rook does come out and try to get involved. The Tavion stops him from interfering. And Myles Borne was the match. Was finisher Borne again. He retains the title. So now they got a second title match this week. And after the match, Mr. Rook does hit the ring to get on a lucky show. Mason beats Hendrix up. And then Valley Project attacked Myles and Tavion. But then Myles and Tavion managed to neutralize Valley Project and get him out of the ring. They win the brawl. That was it. Fun stuff. Backstage, Lizzie's reign is sponsoring AFC Popcorn Chicken. Yeah, TKO. Lizzie Reign eating it. She says it's a perfect refuel. She feels like she can kick Izzi Dame's ass all over again. She's looking forward to the NXT Underground match between Lola and Kendall next week. Tristan Angels comes in and says Lizzie's gotta stop enjoying Charlotte's delicious chicken wrapped in tea and sandwiches. Yeah, she's being weird. Los Garza, Angel and Berto in the back. They're part of the AAA faction, Perros Del Mal, which Bronco Nima was a part of OTM. But Lucien Price is not. So it's kind of unfair for him when they're chatting at Bronco in the back. And Zarya comes up. When was the American champion? Zarya comes in to Robert Stone. Zarya says, "Where's the next challenger?" She'll put on another fatal 4-way. Stone makes his excuse, and then Ren Sinclair comes in, talking about her next speed women's title defense. Zarya tells her the North American Championship takes precedence over that title. Stone says, "You know what? Screw the tournament. We'll give Zarya a speed women's title match next week." And then Ren retains, she'll get a shot at Zarya's title. Right, sounds fun to me. Now we go to. I don't have OTM download, so we're just gonna keep talking here. So let me get this match first. I apologize, guys, I don't have them downloaded. But OTM, Bronco Nima and Lucien Prince. They fight OTM. They fight the BirthRight, Stacks and Uriah Connors. The rest of them are ringside, with his Speed Men's champion Lexus King, Uriah Connors, Ariana Grace. Solid match here. Pretty much toward the end. Toward the end, the Angel and Birch try to get involved, but it actually distracts OTM and BirthRight win of Stacks pinning Lucien. And then, yeah, Bronco Nima's kind of stuck in the middle. So he doesn't know what to do, basically. And it's kind of just like, yeah, that's the story. Then we get a video package promo of Kendall Gray with her coach, which is her dad. And they're working with Julius Creed in a gym to get ready for NXT Underground. Then back from commercial, Callie Armstrong's in the locker room saying it should be her in Underground next week. Izzi Dame's comes in and says, "You're new here. Opportunities will come." And then Kelani appears to complain about not getting what she deserves. Marina Volcan walks past and says, "The NXT Women's Division doesn't rebuild, it reloads." Whatever that means. And now we go to the next match. I don't have Tristan Angels download, so we're just going to talk. Shiloh Hill versus Tristan Angels, match number 2, actually, because the first one happened to Great American Bash, which Shiloh won. This is the second match in their feud. This is good. This one didn't top the first one, because the first one was on a premium live event, so this was a TV match. It was still good, but just not as good. And Shiloh wins again, 2-0. I'm surprised. I thought Tristan was going to win this one, but no. I have a feeling this is the end of the feud, but I don't know. Commentary hype for next week's show, which is we got the tag team championship match, Vanity Project, Myles, Tavion. We get Ren Zarya, Speed Women's title, and we got a big women's tag match. And yeah, so fun stuff. Now we go to our main event, which I don't have Cruz Montana download, so we're just gonna talk. Cruz Montana comes out with a microphone. He asks NXT what's good and says, "We know he prides himself on being real, so he's going to keep it a buck with us." There are words he never thought that he'd say. Cruz Montana is officially a WWE superstar. And check it. There's a lot of times when he didn't think he'd see tomorrow. Not TNA, not WWE, not another day of life. Because where he came up with some of the toughest neighborhoods in New York City. And every single day was a struggle and a fight to survive. He was no saint. He made mistakes he can't take back, but he's learned that most of those nights he was fighting the man in the mirror, There were a lot of times he thought this dream was dead for him. So he had to make a decision. Would he be another story of wasted potential, or the man his daughter deserved to call her father? And then they told him he reached his ceiling as a tag team wrestler before teasing AEW. They said he couldn't be the guy. For 20 years, he fought the toughest battles in himself. He was on a losing streak, but then he started to win, baby. Every step forward wasn't him chasing validation. It was him proving and taking advantage of the opportunities he was given, and he rebuilt his career one match at a time. He's got to get it off his chest. He loves and appreciates what TNA did for him. But tonight he's standing here as a WWE superstar, and not a damn thing was given to him. He's not going to allow his past to dictate his future. Only he could do that. And look at him now, staying in the place everyone wants to be. He's in the beginning of a chapter he's chased his entire life, but guess what? He's not here to fill a spot. He's here to take a spot, and that spot is as the new NXT champion. As far as Grayson Waller goes, and then Tony D'Angelo comes out, the NXT champion, he says he figured he introduced himself properly as Tony D'Angelo, the NXT champion. The last couple of years, he's seen the hottest names of free agency come in and talk about how they're going to win championships and change the business. And everything Cruz just said with the passion he believes in, except one teeny tiny thing. The spot he wanted, the spot of the NXT champion. Well, unfortunately for him and Kangaroo Jack, that's Grayson Waller, that spot is taken until further notice. You could be the realest, nastiest, baddest on the block, but you won't be NXT champion. Cruz cuts him off and says he'll show him exactly how he'll take that spot. And then out of nowhere, Grayson Waller blindsides him. Grayson gets into it, Tony. Grayson ducks as Cruz gets up. And basically, Tony accidentally gets hit by Cruz trying to attack Grayson. I smell a triple threat match. And that's it for the show. And look, solid show. I enjoyed this. Is there any news this time? Alright. I don't see much news this time. The one thing I see is everyone hated Raw last night, and I don't blame you guys. And especially the Dan Houser Joe Henry segment, the whole Henry Housen concert. That was hard to sit through. That was terrible. Uh, I don't agree with people saying it was one of the worst Raws of all time. I think it was the worst one of the year. People are saying this is the worst Raw ever. And this is like 35 plus years of Raws. Like you can't say that. Worst of this year? Probably, absolutely. I agree. 100%. Oh, that's just me. That's pretty much it. I'll be back this Friday for SmackDown. My co-host is still taking some time away, so it'll just be me. And I'll also be here for you guys both Saturday and Sunday night for SummerSlam Night 1 and SummerSlam Night 2. In the meantime, that's it for now. See you guys next time. Peace.